Welcome to Central News for Friday the 6th of December. I'm Harriet Wilson. In today's news, over 17,000 people have been fed this year by the Tauranga Food Bank, and they are already seeing an influx of people in need of something to feed their families this Christmas. The 17,000 people who have been fed in the last year are from just Tauranga City, and the food bank relies completely on the donations of food and cash. Officer Manager Nikki Goodwin says the need has never decreased over the years.
We're always in need of donations. At Christmas, obviously there's a lot of extra expenses for people, a lot of extra family come to stay, so we're always needing more. It's hard to know how much more, but it all gets well used, so there's never any waste. So please, feel free to bring us Christmas donations.
As the party season begins, new laws will soon be put in place that will make it illegal to supply an underage with alcohol. Local media has recently reported a binge drinking culture in Tauranga, and some experts have backed this up, saying it has increased over the years. The Parenting Place's Jackie Payne says she knows of teens as young as 14 drinking in the streets on the CBD.
I think there definitely is a teenage drinking culture here. It seems to be something that they are expected to do, is just get drunk on the weekends. I'm not sure it's any hugely much different from where we were growing up. I think it's just a bit more visible.
Now for your weekend weather. Hamilton, Saturday brings more rain in the morning, which will clear as the day progresses. Your expected high for the day is 22, with an overnight low of 12. Tauranga, your Saturday will also bring morning rain, which then clears and leaves you with fine spells for the afternoon as winds turn westerly. Your expected high is 24, with an overnight low of 14. Sunday for you, Hamilton, will be mostly fine, but with the chance of a few showers developing. Your expected high is 22, with an overnight low of 10. And Sunday in Tauranga, the rain returns with a few showers developing and northwesterlies. The expected high for the day is 23, with an overnight low of 13. Just ahead, the first DHB to receive a Business Excellence Award. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. The New Zealand Business Excellence Awards were held last week, and the Bay of Plenty District Health Board received a bronze, but they are also the first DHB to receive an award. Hilary found out more about what the award is for and what an organisation has to do to compete.
What we won was the New Zealand Business Excellence Award, a bronze category, and the awards run from bronze through to gold. So we got bronze. It's the first award in the step, and we're only just started on our quality journey, so we were really pleased to get the bronze award. And the award is, the New Zealand Business Excellence Foundation has set up the awards based on the Baldrige criteria, which is an international award established in the US that determines business excellence based on a group of criteria that you get assessed against. The criteria like leadership, patient focus, and workforce relation.
What does dedication to practice mean, and what does that look like in a hospital?
For a hospital, dedication to practice means that everybody acts in a professional manner and they do their work to the best of their ability to ensure that patients have good quality care, have access to care when they need it, and that the care is provided in a safe manner.
In what way has Bay of Plenty District Health Board improved its patient safety, and how was that carried out?
We've always had a drive for patient safety. Nobody wants to have somebody come into hospital and something happen to them. But in 2010, we specifically looked at a patient safety program. We looked at our results around falls, hospital-acquired infections, and there were obviously an opportunity for improvement for us. So we had a focus of 4 programs: clinical communication, reducing harm from falls, healthcare associated infections, or reducing harm from infection, and medication safety, and we'd already worked on having programs with that, and then at the beginning of this year the Health Quality Safety Commission brought out their open program, which was it's a national program of patient safety. So the first focus was on falls, and we'd already done a lot of work, but we worked regionally, and we looked at things like all patients who were at risk of falls wore non-slip socks, so we introduced that across the region. We looked at risk assessments, care planning around falls, but the biggest coup that we had was around intentional rounding, which is where nurses have targeted times approximately hourly, but we don't say hourly, where we go around and you look at things. So you might look and see that, you know, the water jug's on the other side and they'd have to lean over and fall. So we go and we look at making a safe environment and working with people, seeing if they need to go to the toilet at that time. We try not to say, you know, I'm busy, I'm going off to do something, so I'm here now, is there anything I can do for you?
How has the Bay of Plenty District Health Board achieved higher quality healthcare when they're not receiving any more funding than any other DHB?
Higher quality healthcare is just basically what I said earlier. It's getting the right access at the right time, provided to the right standard, and keeping the patients safe. And basically every DHB in New Zealand is doing the same sort of thing. We all run our own quality programs to keep our patients safe, along with the national programs that are run by the Commission. But it just happens that while all the other DHBs are doing the work, we've actually managed to develop a program by applying the Baldrige criteria where we can monitor, evaluate and report back on the work we're actually doing.
Are there any successful Bay of Plenty projects that we could be looking at implementing nationally?
We participate in a lot of national projects. They're run by the Quality Health and Safety Commission. We participate in them. Particularly, we've been very active in patient and family centred care, which has been driven nationally and was originally piloted in Bay of Plenty. And that's all about bringing the patient and the family back to the focus of the care. So in the past, there's been a tendency for healthcare workers with the best intentions to do what they believe the patient needs, whereas we've turned that around to make sure now that it is actually what the patient wants and needs that we're doing. So we're listening to the patient and responding to them rather than just doing to them.
Yes, and one of the other things that we've done around the patient family centred care is about looking at having significant others or lead carers with people. So rather than them just being in hospital, there's somebody else that can support them, that can be there. So we've got 24-hour access for lead support carers, and we're also at the moment looking at extending our visiting hours so that they're more open and conducive to the individual patient's needs, rather than having extended, set hours which preclude some people from attending, maybe because of work or other commitments.
And so are they looking at changing visiting hours nationally?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are. Some of the things it is, instead of saying things like visiting is strictly 2 till 4, we say we welcome visitors, but please be respectful of the patient, and they might need their rest times and things like that. So we're giving a different message.
The Bay of Plenty District Health Board Clinical Schools Trials Unit has also won an award as well. Tell us about that.
That was a Business Achievement Award, and basically it's a new award that the New Zealand Business Excellence Foundation developed, and it's actually awarded for the first time this year, so our Clinical Trials Unit is the first one to receive it. And it's for organisations that have just started their quality journey or their business excellence journey, and they're not quite sure where they are. So it's a opportunity for them to get an evaluation to show where they are on their trip. And it's the same criteria as the Business Excellence Award, only to a little bit of a lower threshold.
Just ahead, Christmas arrives in Cambridge. Welcome back. The magic of Christmas has arrived at the Cambridge Town Hall with the Cambridge Christmas Festival raising money for local charities. The festival will run from the 5th to the 19th of December. I spoke with Janet McComb in studio to hear more. So how is this festival going to be raising money for charities, and what charities will be supported this year?
Well, we raise money by running the festival for the 2 weeks, and the money that comes in from the shop. We don't charge for people to come in, but we like a donation. And we also run a tea rooms, and that's how the money is raised. So with all the goods in the shop and the tea rooms and the donations and raffles and lucky dips for children, we managed to make a good amount of money.
And tell us about this year's theme and what it's going to mean for the festival.
Well, this year's theme is a whimsical Christmas, so people will find that the trees that decorate the hall are quite different. Every tree has handmade decorations on it. One tree, the decorations are made entirely out of kitchen utensils. One tree, the decorations are made entirely out of wool, all sorts of things of wool. One tree is shells and driftwood and that type of thing. One tree is all recycled material. We have a Grinch with his head stuck in one tree. We have Santa Claus in a bath.
Oh wow, it sounds amazing.
In one of the areas. And we have a lovely area for the children with a little train. So it's sort of, that's why we called it whimsical, because it's not the traditional Christmas trees and so on. We have 2 upside down trees.
Oh, sounds very fun.
Yes.
Tell us when the festival is going to be open.
Now, the festival opens on Thursday the 5th and runs through to Thursday the 19th of December. We're open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. until the 12th, and then from the 13th we're open till 8:30 p.m. at night.
And tell us about the handmade gifts and decorations that are going to be available.
We work all year. We meet on a Tuesday and we have a group of 30 to 35 ladies turn up most Tuesdays, and we're divided into groups, and one group sews. So we make anything that can be sewn, like table mats, table runners, aprons, children's dresses, you name it, anything that's sewn, patchwork, children's advent calendars, Christmas wall hangings. Another group makes all the little Christmas decorations, and they use all sorts of materials. I don't know how they do it actually, because they make some amazing things out of almost, well, things that you'd look at and think, oh, that can't become something, but it does. And we have a group that do painting and also decorate, make wreaths and table centres and little Christmas trees. They do all of that. And another table, the ladies embroider and make all sorts of little gifts with embroidery. So there's a huge selection of handmade things, all out of all sorts of materials. We do go to trade fairs and buy commercial Christmas decorations as well, and they're all for sale as well. And we have a vast number of homemade chutneys and jams as well.
So tell us what kind of entertainment that the festival is going to involve.
The entertainment we have are choirs, and we involve as many of the local primary schools and kindergartens as we can, or who are able to come along to the festival. And they come along at either 2 o'clock, 11 a.m. and 2 o'clock, and just for about half an hour the children sing Christmas carols and other songs, and it's really lovely. And then we also have our local Cambridge Brass Band. They perform for us once. And we have a lot of the other very good Waikato choirs. They're usually in the evening when we're running till 8:30 at night. Choirs like the Waikato River Tones and the Mighty River Choir and Kantamis, and a choir from Te Arawa, and Hamilton choirs, and our own local choirs. So
Great. Now, tell us about how your team is transforming or have transformed the town hall.
Well, we've been working for 4 days. We start off with a huge mess in the middle of the hall, and it gradually comes together with Christmas trees, and each Christmas tree is different with a different theme all the way around the hall. And on the stage we have a nativity scene that will be all lit up, and we try and make that one different every year as well.
And what will the tea rooms be providing to visitors who are coming to have a look?
The tea rooms just have not a huge selection of homemade Christmas fare, Christmas cake, Christmas mince pies, shortbread. We're doing muffins and sandwiches this year, and just other little Christmas goodies with tea and coffee or juice.
Now, how can we find out more about the entertainment schedule if there is a particular item that we want to see, or find out more?
The choir timetables are all posted on Facebook and the Cambridge Information website. So that's probably the best two places, other than possibly picking it up in one of the local newspapers.
Be sure to attend this year's Cambridge Christmas Festival for some great Christmas gifts and decorations. Coming up next, Tauranga Christmas in the Park. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. Christmas in the Park is coming to Tauranga for the first time ever. The Little Big Markets will be there, and Tiki Tane has invited some of his friends to perform. Hilary chatted to one of the organisers to see what we can expect from the first Christmas in the Park in Tauranga.
Well, there's our headline acts are Tiki Tane, Anika Moa, Holly Smith and Anna Coddington. So those are our headline acts, and we'll have some local artists as well. Like we've got some, we've got the Salvation Army, and we've got some Christmas carolers, and we've got the Tauranga Samba group. So we've got sort of like quite a lot of different types of performers. Yeah, so I think it's going to be quite just nice for everyone, really.
This is the first year that Tauranga's had its very own Christmas in the Park. Why have you decided to have it now?
Well, we've kind of, like within the Little Big Markets, we've been running for 5 years now, and it's been we've wanted it to grow organically within its own little space. And Tiki's been performing with us for the last 3 years, but we haven't really branded it as Christmas in the Park. It's always just been like an additional market day event, sort of just before Christmas. And last year, because it went so incredibly well, we were like, we do a debrief after each one, and we were like, let's next year make it Christmas in the Park. And I think we kind of needed that little build up to sort of get sort of people to know what we were doing and how we were doing it. So it just was a natural progression to go this year bigger, and that's why we moved from into Blake Park. It's going to be the first time that we've done an event here. And Tauranga is just so beautiful, and just the people that we have at the markets are just so creative and so talented, and we were just like, why do we not have one? So for us it was definitely a perfect fit. It was just, let's just do it. And Tiki's been a great supporter of ours, and he's just so good to deal with, and he's always 100% behind Chris and I, and he was just like, yes, let's do it, let's just do it. And so that's kind of where we are this year.
Tell us about the charities that are going to benefit.
Well, we've got, this year is our first time that we've worked with the Kia Charitable Trust, and they're a charity that basically is put together to help events, whether it be sporting events or music events or, you know, events like ours. So they actually approached us and said, look, you know, we're able to help you because we're completely non-funded and we're completely independent, which is kind of what we wanted to be. We want to be able to do it ourselves and to have our own 2 feet and just, you know, like stand alone. And so it was really nice that they were able to come to us and help us. So they we gold coin collecting for them, which then goes back into their trust to then be able to benefit other people like ourselves. So yeah, they're getting the gold coin this year. And our other charities that we hold quite close to our heart is the Tauranga Food Bank and Women's Refuge and Homes of Hope. Now, Tauranga Food Bank is obviously self-explanatory, but they help so many people in Bay of Plenty, and we just know that every little bit counts for them. So this year we're going to be doing a food drop-off, so people can come in, drop off a food, which is going to be but you're going to be able to drop it off at the markets itself, and that will then obviously all go to Tauranga Food Bank. And we also have Christmas present drop-off, which will be for the Homes of Hope and Women's Refuge. So we know that they're in huge need as well, and for us the last 3 years we've been doing this by dropping Christmas presents to them, and it's just been incredible. Like, they have so many children within their facilities that just don't get hardly anything over Christmas. So we were like, well, let's give them Christmas. And so we get people to drop in Christmas presents. All they have to do is just wrap it and put a gender on it and an age, and then we just drop it to them. And last year we dropped off 2 carloads, and it was just like incredible. So it was just so nice to be able to do that just before Christmas.
Why have you chosen those charities?
I think, there's so many charities out there that obviously they all do such good things. I think the Tauranga Food Bank for us was one that we knew they help a large variety of people, and also they help a lot of people that, I know that when the recession hit, there was a lot of just everyday people that needed help from the Tauranga Food Bank. So that was definitely one key charity that we wanted to help, and we've just continued to help them through each year we just continue to help them. Homes of Hope and Women's Refuge are 2 charities that I know need a lot of help as well, and Homes of Hope is a local charity. Obviously they all are, but Homes of Hope was born here, so they help children that are in between homes, so they are really good at, it's just a really special charity that we feel deserves it. So yeah, we just and we like dealing with them, and they've been so appreciative to everything that we've done, and so we just thought, let's just continue to do it.
How have you managed to get these acts to come to Tauranga?
Well, we approached Tiki 3 years ago when the arenas disaster happened. We actually knew that the Bay of Plenty morale was pretty low, and so we originally had contacted Tiki to play for us to raise money for the arena. And so when we first started doing that, he obviously, I just emailed him, contacted him, and he was just like, absolutely, I'm 100% there. Tiki's actually based here in Tauranga, or in Papamoa, and he really wants to be able to sort of get behind some local events, as well as obviously he does a lot of national stuff and international stuff, and he really just wanted to get behind us because we're local. And from there, he's been an amazing support network. And so this year, he's come on board to be able to help us get Holly, Anika and Anna. And he believes in us, and it's awesome. He's such a great guy.
Christmas in the Park will be on the 21st of December at Blake Park in Mount Maunganui, and starts at 2 p.m, running through till 10 p.m. That is the news for today and this week. If you have stories of your own, or someone you know with an interesting story to tell, we want to hear from you. So connect with us on Facebook or send an email through to news@tvcentral.co.nz. Thanks for joining us. We will be back next week with more guests from in and around the regions. I'm Harriet Wilson. Have a lovely evening and a fantastic weekend.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.